In this DBT quick test video, we're going to be going over the DBT skill of radical acceptance. Now, this is in the distress tolerance module, and this is a unique branch of the distress tolerance skills. The other skills that we've been covering have been what you can do in the moment to try and change the moment, that you're directly trying to influence what's going on around you, what's going on within you, in order to try and improve that moment, whether it's distraction or self-soothing or the other skills that we were reviewing. But this skill is different. Radical acceptance is a mindset, and it's even a mindset that I'd say goes through the entirety of the DBT philosophy of accepting what is as a person's starting point. So just giving a basic definition of what is radical acceptance, it's more than just accepting, okay, yeah, this is what I have to go through. Even though we can recognize what's going on around us, what our reality is, accepting that that's what's in front of us, that doesn't necessarily mean the same thing as radical acceptance. This is taking acceptance one step further, where we're taking it all the way. With heart, mind, body, and soul. This is the way it's going to be. There is no way we can jury rig this any other way. It's accepting this is the game we have to play. Because a lot of times, the way that we address problems, the way we try and solve problems, is we try and change the game. Whether it's leaving, I don't want to, I'll take my ball and go somewhere else, or trying to change those rules. You don't like the version of tag you're playing, you want to add in a home base. And fair enough, those things can be useful as strategies in life. I'm not writing those off. But there are times where that's not open to us. We can't leave. We're in this marriage, hell or high water. I need this job. I can't tick off the boss. I have these kids. I can't stop being their mom or dad. We can't change the rules of the game. And so whatever is coming your way, you have to just say, this is it. It's giving up the fighting. That it can be different, that you want it to be different. And that's legitimate. Wanting things to be different is fine. Feelings like that aren't necessarily a bad thing. But we have to find a place where we can make a decision where, nevertheless, even though this is hard, I don't want my kids screaming 24/7. Those temper tantrums are driving me nuts. That there has to be this line in the sand where, nevertheless, this is reality, and this is the way that I have to act, behave, the path I have to go down on. So the question is, okay, that's radical acceptance, not willfully rejecting the game that's thrust on us. What needs to be accepted? Number one, like I said before, reality is the way it is. Facts are facts. Everyone has limitations. Every game has rules. And that there's a sense of cause and effect in the world that we just can't deny. Those are the things that need to be accepted. It reminds me of a story in my hometown. We had this T intersection. A lot of trucks, a lot of vehicles would go down this T intersection. There was a home opposite to this T intersection. And I grew up in a small town. There wasn't a stop sign. And this poor family had a car run right through that stop sign, run through that T intersection, and hit that house. Well, it got the city council thinking, and they said, okay, we got to accept reality as it is. Let's put in a stop sign. Didn't work either. These poor folks had another car go through their house, and thank God no one was hurt. Well, they put a rock, this huge boulder, right opposite this T intersection so nothing would happen again. And sure enough, it did. Another car just smashed right through. The city was trying to figure out solutions to this problem they weren't accepting. There was something wrong with the T intersection. You can change all the things around it, just like you can throw in distraction and self-soothing. You can throw in a rock, you can throw in a stop sign. But what needed to happen was radically accepting there is a cause and effect relationship here. Given the type of people driving, given the poor lighting, given all these factors, given where the house was, we had to accept all these things. And what did the city have to do? It built the only roundabout in the state of Iowa so that this poor house wouldn't get rammed into. That's accepting the rules of the game. That's accepting reality as it is. And accepting is not agreeing. That's one area where people do get caught up in this skill is, well, am I supposed to agree? Say, on the bus and a bus driver yells at you. Well, am I supposed to agree that that's a good thing? No. This is not a moral question we're tackling. But we do have to radically accept what are the rules of the game here. There is a cause and effect. That bus driver, research shows being a bus driver is probably the worst job a person could have stress-wise. This guy is under a tremendous amount of stress day in and day out. That's going to wear on a person, and that's going to make people behave a certain way, whether we agree with it or not, whether we like it or not. Maybe this guy is going through a divorce. I still don't have to agree that what he's doing is good or right, but what is necessary is taking on that I'm going to have that. People who are going through a divorce, they're going to lose their cool, especially if they're bus drivers. So acceptance and agreeing are not the same thing. Another metaphor that's I think quite powerful that really gets this point across is, well, what if someone had passed away? In that story about my neighbor with their house in the T intersection. No one would agree to that. But when you put in all the factors of poor lighting and how fast these cars are going anyway, that what the speed limit is down that road, the poor visibility, there was almost little to no chance, given those horrible combination of circumstances, for anything else to happen but that house getting run into. And someone could get hurt. And again, thank God it didn't happen. But the point is that it makes sense because that's how the world is built. There's no magic lamp that we can rub and wish the world to be different. There's no amount of bribing God to have circumstances, physics, chemistry, biology work differently. We have to accept those causes and accept they have effects. And those effects come out in ways we might not agree with, but we still have to have in our lives. I hope setting up radical acceptance this way can really shed light on why we need to accept things, why we have to accept reality as it is. Because number one, rejecting reality doesn't change reality. And number two, if we really have a shot of changing circumstances, the first thing we need to do is just accept what the problems are. If we can't outline what the problems are, we can't figure out solutions to those issues. Number three is we have to give up the idea that pain can be avoided. It's natural for there to be pain in life. In fact, pain keeps us out of trouble. Pain is a feeling, fear is a feeling, or warning signs. Watch out, don't touch. We need those things in our lives to stay safe. And when we do reject reality, when we are willful and we're fighting against the world, that's where real suffering comes in. Sure, we can't escape pain, but we can definitely escape suffering. And that suffering keeps us unhappy. It keeps us stuck. It keeps us feeling over and over that sadness, fear, and shame that we don't need to. Sure, there's a place for those feelings, but why make it worse? Ultimately, the idea of radical acceptance is taking on seriously that there is pain in life. There are things we don't and shouldn't agree to, but nevertheless, they're going to affect us. And by being obstinate, willful, aggressive, not accepting life as it really is, well, that pain transforms into suffering, which is 1,000 times worse. So at the heart of this skill is really that idea of not making things worse than they already need to be. And maybe, just maybe, if by accepting reality as it is, if accepting the game we're playing is the game we're playing and we can't change those rules, we have a shot of making things maybe a little bit better or a lot better. Or maybe even the pain we're feeling doesn't have to be as bad as it is. I hope you found this introduction to radical acceptance helpful. I'd really appreciate hearing what you guys think in the comment section, what your experiences are with this idea, how it sits with y'all. If you want to reach out, you can shoot me an email. You can check out my website. And if you're enjoying these videos, you can support me on Patreon. I'll see you in the next video.